Hey, Flippin' Landlord Ninja here.
Kevin, the property prince.
So we wanted to talk about something that was relevant to today. We actually had an incident happen. I was going to let Kevin share what happened.
Yeah, we actually had a great situation take place, and it happens once in a while. What we ended up happening was somebody, one of our former tenants, left us a voicemail. Ironically enough, it was one of those cranky, kind of snotty voicemails where they were outraged that this tenant who left us 2 years ago with a balance of well over $3,000, almost $4,000, was like, "How dare you take me to court, and how dare you file this stuff in court? I moved out of your home." And so I thought that was pretty funny, to be honest. But it also does happen once in a while. So the situation here is that we're looking at this as an opportunity to collect some of that balance, which if you've ever rented property and you've had to ask somebody to leave because they weren't paying you, you know that collecting on a past due balance from a previous tenant is very, very challenging.
Well, once again, this could go state to state, but specifically in Massachusetts, it can be very difficult.
Yeah, there's actually a certain situation where many people that are often renting properties are what they call judgment proof.
Right.
And now that's not something that I feel at all is tolerable. I think it's
or fair.
It's not fair at all
yeah.
to think about it this way. You've taken them through the legal process. You've prevailed in front of a judge who agrees, yes, this person owes and needs to pay you $3,500. However, the law won't let you collect it.
Right.
So I think that's not a fair thing at all, and it's something that as landlords, anybody that is the recipient of a judgment should fight to resolve somehow. But that's neither here nor there. What I think happened in this case here is this person, this former tenant, went applying, wanted to rent somewhere else.
Yeah. She basically was looking for another apartment. The landlord did the right thing and used the tools that we have access to, like mass land courts, and was able to find, it's mass courts, right?
Yeah.
Apologize. But was able to find that, well, she has a prior judgment, followed the kind of chain of events, saw that with us. We, got a judgment against her and said, hey, I'm not going to rent to you because, well, you need to clear up this balance and not doing the right thing.
Absolutely. And, it's a great thing that we followed our process where a lot of landlords may take a shortcut and hit the brakes. We stayed on the gas. So what that basically means is this person had a court date. I mean, we did all the paperwork. We took her through this whole process to finally have our day in court, and she vacates. Doesn't show up for court. And a lot of landlords would have just dismissed the case, walked away from the situation, and just said, she's gone.
You've already spent the money, though, by the way. There's no extra cost to finish.
Right.
You just finish.
You just finish this case, get awarded that judgment. Yeah, it's a pretty slim chance that you're going to really see any money off of that judgment, but it doesn't cost you much of anything at that point. Maybe another hour of your time, which you've already sunk a lot into, to get the judgment.
And there's a good chance you're already there anyway for something else.
Yeah. If you have a lot of units, you're probably in court that day anyway for 5 or 6 other people.
Right.
But so in this case here, somebody was probably wise enough to look up her background, saw that she had a losing case, a judgment against her in the housing court, and stuck to their guns and said, "Whoa, wait a second! If these guys you didn't pay and you still owe them money, then we're not taking you in until you square that up, or we don't take in people that have had an eviction." And if you're a landlord that did that and said that, good for you. We need more people like you out there.
Yeah, I mean, and I think there are programs now that maybe she can apply for that will help pay back the back balance. Or to be honest, if she even just makes us an offer, like I'd be open to an offer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if somebody came to us that owed $3,500 from 2 years ago and said, "Listen, I can't come up with the whole thing and all the interest that has accrued since then,
right.
But I can come up with $2,000," yeah, we'd probably seriously consider that.
I mean, it's like found money.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But Matt hit the nail right on the head. There are literally state programs. They throw money at people to keep them from ending up homeless because the state doesn't let anybody go homeless, really. They're put in a hotel, they're put somewhere. It's way cheaper for the state to pay that balance off to their previous landlord to help these people get rehoused.
Oh yeah, then pay a hotel. I mean, hotels are expensive.
Hotels cost thousands a month, and that's exactly where homeless people will get housed. So there's a lot of different avenues for this money to come in if the former tenant is willing to resolve the situation.
Correct.
So, it's easier than you think, but bottom line is be open if you're a landlord and this happens to you. Be open about taking and making a settlement arrangement. Don't get into monthly repayments and $50 a month or $100 a month trying to get the full $4,000. Take a lump.
You're being a nice guy.
Yeah,
helping
no,
them out.
absolutely. And also thinking you're going to get the full amount and get fully repaid. You won't get fully repaid. It's just not going to happen. Take a lump sum. Figure out a lump sum that they can actually do. $1,000, $2,000, and then call it a day.
Yep.
Wipe that balance off. Satisfy that judgment through the housing court. And if somebody calls you and does a landlord verification, tell them exactly the scenario. Be honest about it. Don't lie. Don't say, oh, they were great, they got behind, they paid up. Well, tell them exactly what happened. I had to take them all the way through court. A couple of years later, I worked out a settlement arrangement and I zeroed out their debt.
Exactly.
And let the new landlord, prospective landlord, make their own judgment call in terms of if they want to give this person a chance. I would actually consider that. I would say, wow, you know what?
If they square it up,
This person came back, they did the right thing.
Yep. I mean, everyone sometimes has life scenarios that happen where they get into situations where they can't afford. But if they do the right thing eventually, I mean, that definitely, second chance in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. And, sometimes we just can't always be that picky. You have to have, to understand that if you expect every tenant or every prospective tenant to have a perfect, unblemished record, an amazing credit score, and owns 15 vacuums and loves to wash their floors every week or whatever it might be, they're going to vacuum and take good care of the house, I guess.
With 15 of them?
I mean, they're very clean. I mean, nobody's that clean, right? That's the idea. You're never going to find a perfect person or perfect tenant, and you're going to sit with a lot of vacancy while you're just waiting and waiting.
So
I own one vacuum.
Yeah. So if this was helpful, or you have comments or questions or scenarios that you guys want to share, please comment, subscribe, thumb up, like, whatever you do.
Ring the bells, whatever it is on whatever media this stuff goes on. I don't know. I don't care. But seriously, leave some comments. Talk to us about it. We'd love to get engaged and hear more about this stuff. This is like a hobby as well as a job, career, whatever for us. So we like to talk about it, as you can see.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Bye.